Welcome to Poland Daily History with me, Nicholas Richardson. And we're continuing our look at Polish-Ukrainian relations because both countries suffered similar fates at the hands of Russia. And I'm talking particularly about invasions and things of that nature. I'm delighted to have with me in the studio my colleague Adam Starzyński, our expert in all things historical, Polish and indeed Ukrainian. Adam, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Now, I wonder if we might look at the period Polish-Ukrainian relations, particularly from the point of view of Ukraine, in the period leading up to the Second World War.
Well, now, of course, with the full-scale invasion underway of Ukraine by the Russian Federation since February 24th, 2022, there is intensified campaign by Russian propagandists, naturally led and coordinated by the intelligence service, that is meant to try to drive a wedge between the Poles and the Ukrainians, as the Poles are a key ally of Ukraine, having provided enormous quantities of military equipment, especially the Soviet-era equipment that Poland has in quite large quantities in various storages or sometimes in active service. Probably more than anything, we know about the nearly 330 tanks that are being delivered, and also now the MiG-29 fighter jets that are a recent arrival in Ukraine. So with all this help, it is naturally in the interest of the Russians to try to create public pressure in Poland from below on the government to make them stop providing this aid. One of the instruments that they're using, probably the main instrument, is try to bring Poland's attention to the Volhynian massacres, this genocide that took place at the hands of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, OUN, and especially the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, UPA, before or during the Second World War. And this massacre started in the province of Volhynia, later moved over to the neighboring province of Galicia, and also spilled over to other regions that are today on Polish territory. But it is worth taking a look at what kind of a place Volhynia was, who the perpetrators actually were, what form of support they had among the Ukrainian public at the time, because these are all factors that come into the story and which the Russians are using to spin their narrative, often by exaggerations or outright lies. So if we look at the region of Volhynia, it is quite a specific place, even in the Second Polish Republic, as unlike Galicia, it had belonged to the Russian Empire before the First World War. Galicia, on the other hand, was a part of the Austria-Habsburg Empire, Austria-Hungary, and their conditions were very different. The oppression against both Poles and Ukrainians was stronger in Volhynia than it was in Austria-Hungary. The Poles were in Galicia in charge, you could say, of the administrative sphere. In general, they occupied higher positions in society, having formed the nobility in the region for centuries. And they were better educated, had better access to everything from wealth to networks, contacts, and simply were in a position to exercise some more influence over the society. In Volhynia, the Poles also had a similar societal function. Nevertheless, there the Russians were much more in charge than the Austrians were in Galicia. Because of that, in Galicia, these competing nationalisms could have more room for maneuver. So the Poles were organizing strongly, trying to gain control of the region, and the Ukrainians were doing the same. For the Ukrainians, Galicia was often described as the Piedmont of Ukraine, drawing some kind of similarity to the Italian region from where Garibaldi had sailed, and from where the unification of Italy took place, where this ideology of a single Italian unitary state was created.
Adam, as usual, the clock in the corner of the room has defeated us. I'm going to have to ask you to pause there, but we will pick it up next time. I've had to ask Adam to pause, but fear not, if you join us next time on Poland Daily History, as we hope you will, we'll pick up the story. Until then, thank you very much for watching.